Hello, sawmill people. So I just seen this quote that said money may not grow on trees, but mine sure does disappear into the logs. And that's how I feel this whole thing works right now with the sawmill and the logs and all of the equipment that it takes to, move them around. Dump trucks, trailers and stuff to get them here, and then the whole drying process, it's a lot of money. So anyway, I'm going to cut this up. I got the sawmill running again. The blade once again slipped off the back of the pulley the other day, and due to the storms and stuff I just kind of quit on it. But I am going to take another cut off of this so that it's down to 4 inches. I'm going to flip it up and slice it into some 1x4s. And for whatever reason, I feel I need some 1x4 cherry lumber. So, without any further waiting, let's just get this done. Okay, we got the water on, it's running, belts are already tightened, blades tightened up. See what we can do here today. So we did take a little bit of a swan dive right about the center of the log. I'm going to back this up and see where we are on the measurements. I mean, I can clearly see that the blade is arched upward and right at the top. So we should have been about 4 inches when this came through this end. And we're still at, looks like 5 1/8. So that did not stay true all the way down. Yeah, so we are now at 5 inches on one end, 5 1/8 on one end and 4 on the other. And I see there's a lot of termite damage about halfway up that log. So I do believe I'm just going to go ahead and cut this into probably 1-inch slabs. Leave it as it is, and that way I can cut it into pieces and use it on signs instead of having any 1x4s. I've got plenty of other logs to cut some 1x4s out of, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with them. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this off in 1-inch slabs. Alrighty, so as you can probably see all the smoke coming out of it. Once again, this fine machine here is probably about to spin some belts again. There's literally water boiling on the blade. I'm going to start this thing back up. I'm going to put a little more tension on the belt. I'm going to go ahead and start this back up, see if I could finish this pass through here before whatever it is just decides to break again. So as you've seen all the smoke once again, I'm gonna tell you, I am not impressed with this machine at all. I really wished I'd have spent the extra money and bought something with a little bit more quality than this thing, because in my opinion this machine is trash. The amount of issues with this, and as I posted in the last video, the quality control with this thing is completely, I mean completely ridiculous. What they send to you. So once again, the belt is smoking ass hot, which you could probably tell by all the smoke that was rolling out of it. The only difference is this time is this log here, this is cherry, so it's not like the sassafras log where the machine couldn't even expel the dust from going through the sassafras logs due to the stickiness of it and stuff. It just built up in here and burned up the blade and everything else. But this here again, you can see there's a lot of deflection in the belt again. The belt is hot as hell. It's most likely going to need to be replaced. I will make another video after I put some aftermarket belts on here, but I just again would like to reiterate the quality control of what you get from MechMaxx with this sawmill is trash. I mean, there's no way else to put it. The belts are garbage, the blades are garbage. I'm still on the line of whether or not this clutch on here actually works right. The whole guide system is horrible for keeping your blade straight. I mean, even if you have the guides closed up to where you're right up against the log, the correct tension on the blade, these things have a heck of a time keeping the blade straight. When you're sawing, the blade itself constantly wants to either move forward or backwards on the pulley over there. And then you know, you always have nonstop metal noises from this guide. The whole time it's running, it sounds like the blade is dragging in these guides. And like I said, I mean, you know, I hate to complain about it as cheap as it is, but damn, if you're looking at buying one of these, you know, this isn't no YouTube fluff and muff because they're sponsoring or anything like that. I don't look for ever get a sponsorship or anything through MechMaxx, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I believe about this machine and what my opinion is on this machine. And the sad reality is people will end up buying this machine before they ever actually research and find out anything about the machine. But if you did see this ahead of time, I would definitely consider spending a few extra dollars and getting a machine that's actually got good reviews instead of getting a cheaper machine. Hell, I would go to Harbor Freight and buy one before I bought this thing, because at least at Harbor Freight, you know you're going to get some level of customer service. Even if you got a machine from them and it's complete junk, you're going to be able to return it to the store minus a little bit of a fee. Whereas with MechMaxx, you don't even know if they're ever going to respond to you unless you buy it through like Amazon, where they have to respond to you, otherwise they'll end up getting kicked off of the platform. And as you know, you could probably look at these machines and see there's a lot of other cheap machines out there, and every one of them is identical to this. Some of them are going to be different color. You know, I'm almost 100% positive this is just some Chinese machine that a lot of different companies brand as their own. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, the quality control on it's horrible. Customer service through MechMaxx is horrible, and the product itself is horrible. As was discussed in the last video, this thing is brand new. The motor, it sounds horrible. I mean, it's always making like banging and clanging noises. If you let off of the throttle at the end of the pass and you don't feather it out, the machine will backfire and about blow your eardrums out. Again, like we just touched base on, the belts on here are crap. The blades are crap. The clutch, like I said, I'm pretty sure the clutch, I'm not going to say I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. I'm on the line still about whether or not it's the clutch or the issue with the belts. There's all the quality control issues with the machine that I went over in the last video, like the head being assembled wrong. You couldn't even adjust the tension on the belt without taking the machine apart and putting the adjuster where it needed to be. The electronics on a machine that is used for outdoors, the electronics aren't water sealed. It's just a variety of little things. I mean, I would love to be able to always say good things about this, and you know, I don't have no problem taking credit where credit's due as far as being new to this and screwing up a lot of stuff, because you know, a lot of the issues at the beginning of this was just user error. I mean, I'm learning how to use this machine. But anyway, I'm gonna tear this thing apart once again. I'm gonna go ahead and go find some aftermarket belts that'll fit on here, and then start this back up and try it out, because the frustration of this thing being down so often, you can't even cut a small log with this piece of crap without it breaking down on you. You know, it's not a good machine. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know if it's all of them. I don't know if I just got the biggest piece of shit that MechMaxx had available, and that, you know, they needed to ship it out real quick. I do not know. I do know that it did show up missing bolts and pieces and all that, which was no big thing. We just went down to the store and bought what was needed to put the thing together. But like I said, customer service is horrible. Machine, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you can see how often it's got problems. I don't know of one damn log I've been able to cut with this thing without something going wrong. And you know, you can see how slow I was just going through this little bitty piece of wood, and it still, you know, can't do it. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up with that. Once I start tearing this thing apart, I'll make another video, you know, just so people have it, showing disassembling this thing. It's pretty much going to be the same as taking the blade off as I did in another video, but aside from that, you're also going to have to go and loosen the motor up again. And oh, if you've seen the little hummingbird, that was cool. But I'm gonna have to loosen the motor up again, of course, to release the tension off of this belt, and then we'll go from there, and then put everything back together for the 5 millionth time and see what tears up on it next. So anyway, it's another day with the MechMaxx 32, y'all. Hope you have a great Sunday.